As the Taliban moved in to take Kandahar, interpreter Assad knew he wasn't safe.
When I went to the rooftop of my home, I saw Taliban around the city, in Kandahar city. They have captured the city.
Leaving his wife and 2 young children, he went to stay with his uncle, just in time.
I was there just for a couple of hours, so I got a call from my brother. He was saying that there were 2 Talibans came over to my home and they were searching for me.
Assad's work with foreign military has made him a target. He was a translator with the Dutch Army in the Uruzgan province from 2007 to 2010, then with the United States Army in Kandahar, then spent more than 2 years with the Australian Defence Force as an aviation security advisor at the Kandahar airfield.
We were visiting Afghan army. I was translating Pashto Dari to English and vice versa. Sometimes we were needing to go outside the Y, so we were going with our main tools. We were traveling with the armored cars and outside.
The Drum has spoken to a serving member of the Australian Defence Force who worked with Assad and provided him with a letter of recommendation.
Assad has placed his life and that of his family at risk in order to facilitate coalition and Australian success within Afghanistan.
In 2013, Assad said he was threatened by the Taliban and applied for an Australian visa, which was rejected on the grounds that he was not at significant risk of harm. He says further attempts to make contact with Australian authorities in 2017 went unanswered. By the beginning of this week, Assad had managed to get to Kabul airport. After talking his way through a Taliban checkpoint, he says he was stopped at the gates and questioned by Australian troops.
I said, I have the documents. I have worked for the Australian troops in Kandahar, in Uruzgan. So I have already applied for my immigration visa, but I haven't received an eligible letter and a visa. And they said, no, you cannot come over. So I told him, I need to speak to your boss. This was the smartest way I could make into the airport.
Once inside the airport, Assad says he sought out Dutch authorities, who eventually allowed him onto a flight. Now he's spending 10 days in a quarantine facility in the Netherlands and is optimistic he'll be able to secure a visa.
I'm pretty sure that most of my friends, most of my colleagues, they were with me in Uruzgan. They have received 5 years visa, and they're receiving their homes about 5 or 6 months.
Today, Home Affairs Minister Karen Andrews said nearly 2,500 people have been evacuated by Australian or Allied soldiers, and more flights are planned before the end of the month deadline. But many Afghans who worked with the ADF are yet to secure safe passage. Taj Wali Rahan worked as an interpreter with the Australian Defence Force for 6 months in 2011 and had a visa application rejected in 2017. Alongside colleagues, he's been pleading with the Australian government from outside the Kabul airport.
We are not safe and our families are not safe.
People who are translators, they say, we wish we knew Australia would treat us so badly. Then we would have never worked for the Australian Army. All of them regret their service.
This week he was told he was being given priority consideration for one of the 3,000 humanitarian visas allocated to Afghan nationals by the federal government.
I want to request from the Australian government, not just for me, for the rest of the translators who are waiting for a visa. Their families are in danger. We have lots of struggles.
The Drum approached the Department of Home Affairs and the Department of Defence for comment on this issue. A Home Affairs spokesperson said it would not discuss the cases of individuals or the granting of visas. In the Netherlands, Assad says he hopes Australia will be generous to its former employees.
They have supported the Australian people, their government, and they were watching their armies and people's back. They always helped their military. I want the people in the government to take care of them and give them a safe haven for the family and themselves.